Okay, Craig Hill from EXP, thank you for joining me today.
Great to be here.
Okay, now I posted a video the other day about, somebody mentioned to me, EXP, is that a pyramid scheme or something to that effect? I did a video about it and we had a brief chat about this after we got a couple of comments. And I thought you articulated it really well. Now, can you, based on the knowledge, we're not experts on pyramid schemes or anything like that, but can you explain to me your definition of a pyramid scheme?
Well, I would say, well, it's pretty clear. Firstly, EXP is a publicly traded company, so is restricted and required to operate within the law,
Yes.
within all the countries and jurisdictions that it operates in. So they are compelled to operate within the law. Pyramid schemes per se are illegal and have been illegal in Australia for about 45 years. I can speak of a bit of first-hand experience. My dad actually got mixed up in one in the early 70s, and this was an illegal model. And the pyramid schemes essentially require you to buy something and to on-sell it to somebody. What we're doing here is that it might have a multi-level marketing look about it, but it is absolutely not pyramid. We're not requiring anything of anybody. All we're really doing is rewarding people for referring other colleagues into the business. So it's really about sharing the marketing cost with its existing team members, where we're not, there is no requirement to do that. You can not go about sponsoring other agents in. You can just go about your business of listing and selling. But this absolutely is not a pyramid. A pyramid is an illegal structure. This absolutely is not.
Yeah. So with your dad, so that was something that, so that was the classic pyramid thing where they had to buy a certain product and then try and on-sell it to somebody else. And you really couldn't make money, could you?
Yeah, well, essentially what happened to my dad, I did go back recently and speak with him about it. And it was around, it was selling cosmetics. So the requirement was to buy a bucket load of these cosmetics. So let's say it was $10,000. And at the time it was in the early 70s, significant money. He then needed to sell that on to other people or to recruit other people in to make those purchases. It was very difficult for them to on-sell it. So there was no way of getting into the business without making these purchases. And it was near on impossible to make any money out of it. And a number of these schemes were around in Australia in the early 70s. They were subsequently outlawed.
Yeah. And good reason, you know, your dad's a good reason why they were outlawed.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had been from early days pretty wary of that type of thing. And to be honest, when I came across EXP, I looked closely at it. I wanted to make sure the model was okay, and looking deeply at it. And I ran it past a couple of really clever friends, and we all came to the same conclusion that it's actually a flawless model. And an incredibly smart model. All it's doing is rewarding people. So it's a little bit like Coca-Cola spending 20% of revenue on marketing. EXP doesn't spend directly any money on marketing. All they're doing is rewarding their existing members for sponsoring in other productive stuff. If you're not productive, if you sponsor a non-productive agent and you're not getting paid anything.
Yeah, so it's in our incentive to help agents. Therefore, the culture is one where people want to help people, not only for the share factor, but also for the revenue share. And, you know, if it was a pyramid scheme, then people really can't make money. Real estate agents make money from listing and selling. So there's no restriction on that. They can make as much money as they like, achieve 100% commission after, you know, $100,000. And so there is no way that they can end up like your dad, you know, which, you know, your poor father, and, you know, that must have been absolutely awful for him. But, you know, this is a situation where there's just small monthly fees. If you want to, you can tell people like we love EXP. You can tell people you love it. If they join, then you get rewarded. You don't have to tell anybody if you don't want to. You can keep it a secret if you like, how happy you are or whatever. But, you know, just the same as we get paid referrals for selling, you know, for people selling their property, we refer it to other agents. What's the difference between referring a person to a company and you get paid for it? What's the difference? There's no manipulation. There's no, you know, they do it of free will. We're not holding a gun to anybody's head. If they like it, they stay. If they don't, they can leave, and there's no lock-in periods. You can leave after a month, you know, it's month by month. So there's no lock-in periods whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's an incredibly clever strategy because, you know, as we know, real estate agents and a lot of professions move around by referral. A mate of a mate, a friend of a friend, come and work with me. And typically you might get a thank you if you're lucky. Well, we thank you by paying you a fee each year that agent is productive.
Exactly.
So it's really no different. It's business as usual, but we're paying you a fee for doing it. We're saying it's a nice thank you. Exactly.
And you can build a team anywhere over the world, which we're soon to open in Portugal as well, and France. So that'll be good. Oui. I'm going to practice my French.
I'm doing.
Yeah. Oui. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much. I just thought, you know, it was worth having that discussion again, as we did the other day, because, you know, your firsthand knowledge of that situation and how this is not that. And some people tend to, you know, bag everything in the one bag, and it's not. You know, you've got to look into things a little bit deeper sometimes.
Well, I would say that the term pyramid is loosely used, and it's used by people mostly that don't understand what it really is. And there aren't any pyramids operating in Australia, and if they are, they're quickly outlawed. It's illegal.
Yes.
This is absolutely not that structure.
Exactly. And especially to be listed on the NASDAQ, you have to be completely transparent. You've got all your figures, you've got everything, quarterly reports, everything that go out. You can't do anything illegal. It's impossible. You know, everything is scrutinized so much, especially, you know, being on the NASDAQ, as we said. You know, it's totally transparent. And anybody, and this is why I like to talk about things like this. People go like, oh, you know, it's not transparent, or something's not transparent. No, ask us a question and we'll talk about it. And I would rather do that than people talk behind our backs or, you know, make uneducated comments about things and possibly stop somebody from, you know, bettering their career and bettering their life. Maybe they should, you know, I would just rather bring everything out. You know, I don't let anything fester. I'd rather if somebody says something, I hear it. Okay, let's talk about it. Why is it? Why isn't it? So I think we're better off to do that.
Yeah, I think I would also ask people if they've ever done business with a publicly listed company in Australia. And for those people that have, you'll find that your bills are always paid on time and things are done to the letter. And the reason they do that is that they are compelled to do it. They are, everything has to be very transparent.
Yeah.
So you can, the same laws, we operate under a very similar structure in Australia to the US, that business is done in a very ethical way. If you're traded on the main board on the NASDAQ, you're ethical.
Yeah, you have to be in all sorts of trouble if you weren't.
They do.
All right. Well, thank you, Craig. You're a big asset to EXP, and we're lucky to have you. And so anybody that would like to join your team, give you a call, and I'll put your details underneath here as well. And yeah, you'd be very lucky to join Craig's team.
That'd be great. Happy to chat to anyone. Great to chat to you.
You too. All right. Thanks, Craig. Thanks.
Okay. See you.